I upgraded. Ugh. All right, let's get on with this freak show. All right, let's get on. Let's get this abomination back on the road. Anyways, this is going to be part 2 of the last video, and it is, as I said, all about your selective judgments and good guy badges that I have seen out of the Conservative Party for years, and I am now seeing out of the fucking Democratic Party, and how you don't understand the basic fucking fact that goddamn it, as long as someone is not harming someone else, they should be allowed to do whatever they want, and what matters is no one is being fucked over, and goddamn it, everyone's being given some basic opportunity to achieve some basic semblance of equality in society. Everyone should have that right. That is what should matter here. And again, this is not going to be one of my best videos. I'm not really into it. I didn't sleep a lot. I've had sleep issues, and I'm just not making a very good video today. I don't feel good, and just for a number of reasons. I got a little bit of a sinus problem, and it's humid where I'm at, and I'm just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is going to be a number of issues. And again, but back to the other point. Look, again, finishing about what I was talking about wrestling related or about wrestling. Again, you gave a woman a fucking title, had her main event media, had her pin an actual legitimate celebrity, gave her a bunch of fucking money, and then she took the title and decided to leave to have a kid. So she left. She left. How is that anyone's fault or hers? And again, as I said, 8 years ago, you gave a 21-year-old the women's title of the company on her first night on the fucking show. How in the hell much more opportunity can you give someone than that? And again, this is men's fault. In what way? How did men fucking deserve to be in any way, shape, or form discriminated against because women are held back? And doesn't this all go back to what I said? You're living 50 years ago, and you look at fucking people who are, in some cases, not even 18 years old now. 18-year-olds, you're looking at them, 18, 19-year-old people. You're looking at them the same way as you would if they were alive 50 years ago. You can't discriminate. It's almost like you can't differentiate between groups of fucking people based on what they did and who the fuck they are and where they're at in life. You're incapable of it. And it's just identity politics and it's collectivism. You see every goddamn body else is you see yourself as one thing, and you're going to defend your shit no matter how wrong you are. You're going to goddamn, and a lot of it's ego driven, and you're going to condemn the other goddamn group of people no matter what they do, no matter who you are. And that goes back to something I saw on Twitter today, where bathrooms of all things were trending in my state, my home state, because we're very good at knowing what to do with bathrooms and keeping people from using the wrong bathroom, because that's really goddamn important, right? And I saw a bunch of homophobic assholes trading on Twitter, including 2 females who were the ones that stuck out to me. So at this point, you know what? Maybe I don't even hate feminism. Maybe I just hate my state. I really don't know anymore. But one of it was, so I'm now a bigot or something, or I'm now discriminating against whatever this person identifies as. He was talking about somebody else on there, about, and again, my Twitter page is Humanist Philosophies, if you want to go look through my shit and see all of that, whatever. But the point is, so all that, because I don't want to see, and we're going to talk about children in a minute, by the way, but because I don't want my children to go into the bathroom with whatever that is, and this was some woman, maybe I don't want to change in the bathroom. So again, you're all for equality, you're all for progress, as long as it doesn't cause you the least bit of discomfort, and or you don't have to make the least bit of sacrifice or even possible sacrifice in doing so, and it's only 100% to your benefit, then you're for equality. The women of America are letting us know they have a strong, firm equality stance in support of equality rights, so long as it benefits them. Not transgender people, not men, and not even children, as I'm about to go into, but them. Wow, how fucking nice of you, feminists, okay? How nice of you. How fucking thoughtful of you that you can goddamn accept equality if it helps you. That makes you such liberal, progressive, bleeding hearts, don't you? You're so bleeding heart. You love people. As long as it helps you. How much, how can we repay you for being so thoughtful? For goddamn it, being willing to sacrifice so much that you're willing to accept other people's help and then labeling yourself a fucking liberal, as if though anyone doesn't help themselves. Fucking brilliant. Well, then again, you have white dudes who don't anymore, but yeah, brilliant. So let's see, moving forward. So then, there's another one, a much worse example in case of this. This is a seriously tragic case of delusion and fucking horseshit. And there was a woman on there saying that why don't children, on the child's birthday now, mind you, why don't they give the mother a present because she had to give birth to them? So that's a nice, thoughtful thing to say about your children, right? And not father too, by the way, although that would be just as horrendous and bullshit if that was the case. And I have heard men say and complain about children and so forth. And that was one thing I never liked, even about Bill Hicks, who I'm a huge fan of, because he would always bitch about kids. But then again, at least I can give him the benefit of he didn't have any, so he didn't want to be around kids, didn't have any kids. Pretty brilliant fucking thought, don't you think? If you don't like kids, don't have them. And I'll go into that in a minute. But so let's see, let's get this straight. But again, because she said mother, so it's all about the women, right? It's all about helping her. And I want to, again, that really is the primary ideal of what feminism is. And it's not about anyone. Storytelling isn't about helping children that they're trying to use again to get what they want. No, it's about helping women. It's about their advancement. And it really isn't even about their advancement. It's about a fucking vanity project. It's a vanity project for them where they continually to fucking argue they're oppressed when they're not. It's still no different than fucking rich people who read books by Anne Ryan and fucking Atlas Shrugged and all that fucking horrible pollution, that fucking horse shit. It's a vanity project. That's what this has become at this point. It's a fucking vanity project. They don't think they're oppressed. It's like, how much more can we blow smoke up our ass? That's all this is anymore. And again, you want to know why people go right? You're seeing it now. This is why people go right wing. This is what caused the rise of Trump. And I'll have to go into a big part of that. It's fucking political correctness and cancel culture and this shit of, wow, you offended me, and God, now I'm so offended, and let me get a fucking drink because I really should have drank more for this. Honestly, that is the problem. I'm not drinking it. Tastes like shit. Back to the point. What was I even talking about? Something about men, the women or black people or what? Oh yeah. So you want your children to give you. Now I'm guessing you're talking about small children here. Now up until a certain age, what the hell could they even possibly buy you anyways? So I'm guessing you would have to be saying make something. And even up until a certain age, about 6 or 7, I mean, I can't even imagine they can make you anything. What do you want them to do? Draw on a fucking building block? Draw on some Lego blocks? Do you want them to construct you a poorly constructed sandcastle? What the fuck do you want your kids to do for you? And again, on their fucking birthday, but you're not an egomaniac. No, of course not. And that's what I'm saying. It's ego-driven. It's selfish. It's vain. It's vanity. It's a vanity project. It's nonsense, and it's bullying. It's bullying other fucking people into goddamn doing what you want them to do, and that's all this shit is anymore. Now let me get into fucking someone that is being bullied right now, who, while it might not seem like much to you, is a bisexual. And a friend, Jeffree Star, as I said, was androgynous, and even the girl I think is bisexual. And while you might not think that's very important to bisexual, androgynous, and or transgender LGBTQ people, I think it's important to have role models and icons like that out there. And of course, he said something stupid. I'm going to get into that. And I don't know all the things he said, but he's made jokes over the years because that's what he did. And he has a, let's be honest, kind of stupid brand of comedy that certain people like and want to buy, and they supported it. And now they all want to run the other way and say, well, you're offending me, you're offending people, so I'm against it, even though they watched and supported him for fucking years while he did this. But now that it's no longer acceptable, instead of accepting his apology like a person with some common sense, you want to fucking shit on him and act like he did something wrong. When you paid him, you supported him, you bought into him, and you did this for fucking years. But one of the things he's accused of, and again, first of all, let me say this isn't racial, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I think it was Will Smith, or one of them, it was one of Will Smith's kids, whatever. He made this joke where he was stimulating masturbation to a girl, underage girl, 11-year-old girl. Now that's creepy, and even given his kind of humor, I don't know how in the hell he came to the conclusion this would be a good joke, or how that fucking conversation even came up. But nevertheless, he did that, and this was 9 years ago, and he has apologized, but you're not letting it go. So I would also like to say that if that is the case, and I'm not saying it was creepy and reprehensible, but if that is the case, then whether you agree with it or not, and I don't like going back to this point, but I think I've been pretty good about not going to this point over the years. But let's say something like circumcision or genital mutilation of male infant children, that can kill children and killed 117, I think. Actually killed 117 children last year, supposedly, from what I've heard. I thought it was something like 90 something. Someone else said something like 117. I might have forgotten the number. I got it mixed up with another year. I think the year before that was 80 something. And typically from year to year, it kills about 50 to 120 children a year, somewhere in that area, that number, that range, either way. So that, even if you're not against that, you don't have to be against that in this scenario. You would still agree that is a sexual and or perhaps uncomfortable, strange, and inappropriate situation, right? So then would you say that joking about that, especially if it were to lead to the child's death, would be, I don't know, would be unacceptable? That would be, I don't know, taboo. Maybe that's something you shouldn't talk about. Well, then why don't you tell other fucking YouTubers? Because there was something like, I can't think of their name. They had a fucking one of those damn dolls where you're supposed to train to mutilate your children's genitals. They were selling on eBay, and they were joking about mutilating the infant genitals. There were some people, some young people, 18, 19, they were joking about, including a girl joking about doing this to a baby on there. There has been jokes, other people joking about babies dying from it. There are dead baby jokes about that. And there were jokes having to do with that on even mainstream television shows. I talked to you about one joke where it was basically a teenage boy who was about 18 that they joked about forcing to have his genitals mutilated on a show called Glow on Glow. They had a fucking joke like that was appropriate, and that's okay, I guess. If it was a female and a Muslim family doing that to a female girl, I guarantee you they would have fucking taken that off the air. But that's okay. But there was also another fucking show called The League. The League joked about this, and what's so odd about it is they not only joked about or made light of a situation where a baby was circumcised, but they botched the procedure, and part of it dealt with not only that decision to do this or to have the child circumcised, but it was about another guy who the procedure was botched, and he had a fucked up dick, and then they fucked up the kid's dick. So the joke is basically he has to live the rest of his life now with a fucked up dick, this fucking infant. But while all of that is okay, let's keep in mind now, babies dying from genital mutilation that happens in real life and is legal. You want to bitch about fucking Shane Dotson casually stimulating fake masturbation in a fucking photo of Willow Smith when she was 11 from 9 years ago. And that's okay. Why? Because of selective judgments and good God badges. That's what this is. You select what you judge, selectively judge what you want to be offended by, and you expect every goddamn one else to be okay with the shit that you don't. And it's bullshit. And again, bisexual guy in the media, still a young dude, fuck of a lot younger back then, made an inappropriate joke having to do with a fucking 11-year-old back then. And let's not be fucking dishonest or let's contended about this. Let's be fucking honest. Let's be fucking honest. Let's be brutally fucking honest. A big part of this is because it was a fucking celebrity. But he made a joke about a black girl, and I'm not going into that. So goddamn it, now he's a fucking asshole, and you have to cancel him and his friends too, including Jeffree Star, who could not have been any more fucking pro fucking Black Lives Matter back when he actually meant something and had something to do with cops killing people, when there was a fucking reason to actually be Black Lives Matter, pro Black Lives Matter. He could not have been more pro that on Twitter, because I remember him posting about it. And he could not have been more fucking pro Black Lives Matter than what the fuck he was. And you didn't give a shit. And now you want to cancel him, you want to cancel this fucking girl, you want to cancel Shane Dotson and all these damn fucking people because they made a fucking joke. And there's some other blonde girl you used to know that she used to talk about Mandela effect. You want to cancel her and a bunch of fucking people, all because of a goddamn fucking bunch of shit where you're joking. Fucking joking. But it's okay for you to joke about any goddamn thing you want. Well, fuck you. Okay, and finally, I would like to say this. What the fuck was I even going to talk about? It was something else. Oh yeah, finally, I just want to say this, and this might be my main problem more than anything. It's not racial. Him being a white guy and that being a black person who's making fun of or whatever, that doesn't make it racial, because he wasn't doing it to be racist. He was doing it to be creepy. And that was part of the joke probably, but it wasn't funny. I agree with you, and he shouldn't have done it. And I've said that. But, and I'm not saying it again because I'm not blowing smoke up your ass like everyone else does. I've kissed your ass enough, and I'm not doing it more, okay? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to get up. Okay, I'm not kissing your ass. I know you're used to having it kissed, but enough's enough. I'm not getting up and writing "I agree with you" 100 goddamn times on a fucking blackboard because goddamn it, God forbid someone asks a fucking question you don't have an answer to. But again, back to the porn, back to the fucking question. This fucking guy, he made his joke. It wasn't racist. He wasn't being racial. He didn't do it because she was black. He did it because he was creepy. He didn't fucking do it. It wouldn't even matter if she wasn't black. He didn't do it again. He wouldn't have only have done it to black people, I don't think. And this isn't differentiatable between like black power and white power because black power means this and white power. No. This could have been any situation with a white person or a black person masturbating to anyone. And it wouldn't be okay for a white guy to say, well, that black guy's a racist because he masturbated to an 11-year-old white girl. So why in the hell is it racist then to say that he did it because the girl's black? Because he didn't do it because she was black, and there was nothing racial, and his motivations wasn't racial. There was no racial motivations involved. And as far as I know, he didn't say anything racial. So it's not racial, and therefore it shouldn't even be a fucking part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And this is a big fucking part of the fucking thing about the problem with this. This is like cartoons. This is like a bunch of shit. You are trying to now turn this into a goddamn racial situation where it wasn't fucking racial, and you're trying to fix shit that wasn't broke. It wasn't broken. There was no fucking reason to fucking do this anyways. There's nothing racial about this. So why in the fuck are they even involved? You're the one being racist. This is literal racism because you're trying to say just because one person is white and the other one isn't, or because this white person did something, it's racial. You can be creeped out by him and hate him and disagree with me and hate me for all I care and for all you want. But that doesn't make what he did racist. You're just turning every goddamn thing into that. And again, what the fuck does this have to do with cops beating up and killing people? Not a ever-living fucking thing. Because you have made this about and turned this about into every goddamn thing but the goddamn original fucking issue was about. And why? Because the minute goddamn the Republican governor who probably meant to do this distracted from the issue of police brutality, knowing he would divide up the damn races, and made it about a fucking statue, and the damn black people took the damn bait. God damn it, it has been nothing about nothing but this. And the people that have killed George Floyd are not in fucking prison, and nothing else has happened to actually help any black people or anyone in this fucking country. And again, while we are at it, let's not act like only black people get killed by cops, because fucking white people get killed by these pigs too. But you want to sit there on your goddamn throne of insuitable fucking unrational goddamn self-righteousness and fucking egomania and pretend for a goddamn second that goddamn you're perfect, everyone else is bad, and I'm a goddamn racist because I fucking asked you a question that you don't have a fucking answer to, and that's what this is. But the point is, this is illogical. Not every damn thing is racial. You have fucked the Black Lives Matter movement. And again, these rich white people, everything they touch, and they have touched this, and Family Guy, and the guy, the Jewish chick who didn't want to talk for Big Mouth, or whatever the fuck that cartoon's name was. All these fucking people, everything they touch, it turns to shit. You've heard of the boar who everything he touched turns to gold. Everything they touch turns to shit. And you have taken a movement that galvanized and unified millions of people, black and white, around a fucking singular cause of any police brutality or unjust police brutality against black people. You have taken that and you have fucked it up, and you have fucked it and wiped your ass with it for some fucking reason. You thought that was the intelligent thing to do by turning it into cartoons and statues and flags. Flags probably made in fucking some other country for that matter. And goddamn cartoons and voiceover actors and goddamn Shane Dawson and fucking dirty jokes and every goddamn thing else in the world but a fucking goddamn police killing a person. The thing it was supposed to be about. And then you want to know why you're going to lose, so you can blame it on racism or sexism or some other shit. Just like with the Russians. Hey, let's not go after Donald Trump for being a piece of shit and not only threatening to call in actual fucking military on the fucking protesters like I talked about when it happened, and I still supported the Black Lives Matter bullshit because I thought it meant something at that time. Let's not go after him for that, and let's not go after him for goddamn cutting transgender fucking medical aid or aid to transgender people that need medical care. No, and getting rid of that in the insurance policies of this country. No, let's not go after that. Let's fucking talk about the fucking Russians committing a war crime that you can't prove they committed, and they probably didn't. And by the way, no one wants us over in these fucking countries. And let me tell you something. It's not like they have to fucking pay goddamn bounty to any fucking goddamn Talibanian or Taliban motherfucker to take our fucking heads, or to take a head off a fucking goddamn American soldier. They don't have to. They don't want us there to begin with, and the Russians don't have to make them do anything. So I don't know why you think Russians did that, and I really don't care. Just like you spent $1 trillion looking for scroll mooch and you ain't found shit. So when you lose, please say I'm a Nazi and blame Nazis and put on your pussy hats and throw a tantrum and riot and do every damn thing else and complain about Trump, because you're going to lose because you are fucking yourself and you're fucking us. And this is nonsense, and that's what happened. T666.